If you're young, ambitious and want to get somewhere in life, and you're wondering why you're trying to do all of this work to get further towards your goal, whilst you're watching your friends, people at school, and others sit back, play video games, relax, while you're constantly thinking what you need to do next, well then you are dedicated, and you're someone who wants to get towards their goals. Let me break down exactly what I'm doing to try and get towards mine. Okay then, so the morning routine. So I wake up in the morning and then I decide to write in the book that I'm going to write in every single day until I hit at least £300,000 per month profit. And I always decided that I was going to write in that book every single day until I hit that mark of £300,000 per month. Then normally I'd wake up, have a shower and head off to school, but because it's the half term, I'm deciding to do all my email outreach in the morning to get that out of the way. Here I am in Outlook, which is the software I used to send all my emails from. If my camera will focus, there you go. So I can carry on with my day after that. Then after sending emails to businesses and trying to do outreach and gain the attention of more businesses, what I do is plan short form content and long form content. So my Instagram, my TikTok, and then videos I'm going to film for YouTube as well. So what are they going to be? Is it going to be more to do with mindset? Is it going to be more to do with business? And that's the kind of decisions that I make in the morning when planning my content to make sure it's the best it can be. So I know what I'm filming later on that day and the topics that I'm going to cover in my videos too. You don't need a 3-hour-long morning routine to get yourself productive. You just need something that's going to wake you up, that will allow you to be productive and do the right work you know you need to do to get further towards your goals. 4 in the morning, I would 100% do exercise in the morning every single time. But now I'm deciding to change that around and see what works best for me. Running a business at a young age is not an easy task. You have to become a better person, you have to do outreach, emails. When you've got school, you have to try and do different things all of the time, because there is just so many elements to it that you wouldn't expect. You expect it to be, I'm going to start an online business and I'm going to start to make some income, or I'm going to start to get a healthier body. There's always the element of you have to be a better person before you're doing the thing, whether that is try and read or learn about a certain thing before you start it, because that's the thing that's going to allow you to start it in the first place. Then when you do start it, you'll learn there's so much more you haven't uncovered because you haven't done it before. And that's all part of just becoming the better person, doing the things you know you need to do, taking the actions, doing the things you don't always feel like doing, but you know you have to do it anyway. So if you're thinking about starting an online business, when you do it, you'll notice yourself be such a better person for it. So actually running the business, what do you have to do and what does it involve? Well, when you start a business or you start a journey, whether that is to get a healthy body or to become more knowledgeable in a certain area, it can be related to anything. You start this thing and you think it's going to be what you see on YouTube. You watch videos on how to start an online business and you think it's going to go all smooth sailing like that. You're going to do a few bits of outreach, gain your first few clients, then be really happy with your service delivery, and you have to do all of these different things to gain these clients. So you have to do the client onboarding, taking the sales calls, doing the outreach, all of those things. But you think it's going to be what you see online. Now, you should never expect it to be that way with anything. If it's going to be as easy as doing the thing and getting the result, then every single person on this planet would be doing that, and they're not. So there's a reason for that. There's a reason why maybe it's hard to gain your first client, or why it's hard to send emails, do outreach, read, improve yourself, all of these different things. There's a reason why. So never go into anything expecting it to be as smooth sailing as it appears to be, because there's always a reason why not everyone's done it. That's because it's hard, it's a difficult thing. It requires dedication, discipline. And if you're looking to get towards any goal, you have to be disciplined towards it. You can't just think, oh yeah, I'll try today, but then tomorrow I'm not really going to bother, or I can't really be bothered to do it today. That is not the attitude you need to have. You need to be going after it with 100% of every single thing that you have. Keep going for it and do not stop until you get further towards it. Now, there may be times when you think, oh, I'm not too sure if this is going to work for me. I've been trying it for a year, 2 years, and it's not working. The only way you give up on your dreams is if you quit. There's a 100% chance that you will not succeed if you quit with it. So never quit. Keep improving, keep getting better, and don't just stay stuck doing the same thing. Don't do the same thing for 2 years and wonder why it's not working. You have to keep changing your ways, keep using different methods, iterate, get better, do all of these different things. You can't just expect to do something, and if one way of doing that thing, one method isn't working, then you give up on it and that's it. You have to go after it with so much effort and so much discipline constantly. That is such a crucial and important part of it. You can't forget that part. You have to keep going after it and doing it and doing it and doing it. That's the only way. The only way is to learn, improve, get better. Now, sure, if you have investment up front, you can invest in coaches or mentors that actually know what they're doing and have a really good knowledge on the industry, then definitely go for that. That is 100% a great way to get further towards your goals. But for those who are watching and want to get started with zero upfront capital, with zero experience, the best way to do it, doing it over and over again. Keep sending emails, keep learning what subject line is working, what main body text is working, what's the format of the email, what works best for me. Or if it's cold calling, similar thing. But when you're doing these things, the discipline, running the business, it's all about seeing where do I want to be and what are the actions I have to take. And if there's a clear set of actions you have to take, then you have to take those actions. So let's say your goal is I want 5 clients. Well, how do you gain 5 clients? You need to first do outreach and get those people onto a sales call. So you need to do outreach, and then when hopefully some of them respond and want to be on a sales call with you, you have to then take that sales call. So there's very clear steps you have to do to get further towards your goals. And it's all about following those clear steps. Now, if you're looking to scale or do something you're not quite sure on and the steps aren't there in front of you and they're really obvious, then think about what can you do to get one step below that. So let's say you want to scale to 50k per month. What can you do to first of all scale to 10k per month? Or if you can't think about what you need to do to get to 10k per month, what do you need to do to get to 1k per month? Maybe that's sign 1 client, maybe that's sign 2 clients. Just break it down into the smaller steps and you'll see there's a clear path on where you need to be and how you should get there. Now, the lessons you'll learn along the way from going on this journey, improving and getting better in yourself, is stuff that money can't buy. You have to go through it. You have to put yourself through the pain, through the tough things that you don't always feel like doing. But one of the early lessons that I learned was when onboarding one of my first clients, and we were doing like social media management, that kind of thing, so posting on their social media, managing the community. When we were getting logged on for that, I accidentally connected it to my personal Facebook, so we were on the Meta Business Suite. We had to try and get logged on to their business manager, and so we tried to connect it and I accidentally connected it somehow to my personal. So when we parted ways and I stopped doing that service for them, it was connected to my personal, so I couldn't separate the two. Now luckily the other person managed to just disconnect me from it completely, so there was no tie to my personal, there was nothing, so it was just completely gone. But it was just one of the things and one of the silly mistakes that I shouldn't have made. Now that's not a very big example, that's not an absolute make or break thing, but when it comes to running your business and doing all of these things, you think that if you watch these videos or you understand one certain thing, then you'll be fine, it'll be smooth sailing. Something hasn't gone quite right with a potential client, with your business service delivery, with anything related, that's because you haven't done it enough yet. But it's not about making excuses, it's about understanding that you haven't gone through it all yet. You're in different industries, different businesses, or whoever it is you're looking to work with. You have to go through a lot of different stages that you wouldn't expect to go through just to get the desired result that you're looking to get, whether that is a good performing ad creative or good website building for your potential client or your client. The only way to learn lessons is by doing the actions and by doing the things like the service delivery, like the cold calling, like the outreach, like taking client sales calls. All add up and they all make lessons, whether you realize it or not, because maybe in a year from now, maybe in 2 years from now, you'll look back and think, actually, yeah, that potential client sales call, that client sales call was really, really important because I learned one thing from it. I learned how to objection handle, or I learned how to do this, and you didn't even realize it in the moment, but that's a really key skill you can then take and use in the future, in your future sales calls, in future service delivery. If I'm doing this at 16 and you're sat there and you're thinking, I want to start my own thing, I want to go out there, start a business or start an Instagram account and get a healthier body, any of these things, the whole point of this video was to make you go off and do that. So after watching this video, or click off now if you have to, what I want you to do is take the first action to getting towards that stage you want to get to. Whether it is do your first exercise or your first time to the gym or your first business, your first email, your first cold call, any of these things, I want you to go out there and I want you to do it right now. I want you to not make any excuses. I want you to keep doing it over and over and over again with consistency, but make sure if there's something that isn't working, there's very clear data that shows that that one thing you're trying to do isn't working in the way you're doing it, then change your ways. Do not stay stuck doing the same thing. It's one of the biggest lessons you can learn, saying no. If your family is going out and a really important business thing or really important, whatever your goal is, thing comes up, and you have to do that thing to get further towards your goals, and it's up to you to decide and to say no to sometimes and some people when maybe they want help doing certain things or whatever it is. It's not about being selfish, but it's about knowing what you really want to do and prioritizing that over everything else. And that can be a really tricky thing for some people. But if your passion, your drive, your goal is big enough, and it's something that is bigger than yourself, and you know it's going to be the right thing for your friends, your family, and you have an external reason, an external why as to why you're doing it, then this shouldn't be an issue. Because if your pull, your drive, the passion you have towards this thing is so big that you would give up anything in order to pursue it, and that's when you know you're doing the right thing. And if you're sat there thinking, yeah, but my goal, my passion, it's not really that strong, it's just something that I thought would be quite cool. Well, your reason, your why isn't strong enough. Find a better reason, find a reason to go out there, do these things. You look back and you notice that, yeah, I actually have changed. I have become more confident in business, or I have become more confident in my fitness levels. And it's just something that you observe over time. You may not see it in the short term, you may do. After a really good workout, you may think, yeah, I actually feel quite good after that one. But in the long term, you'll see yourself improve in so many different ways rather than just becoming fitter or building a business. There's so much more that goes into it, in the development side of things, in becoming a better person. But more importantly, you just see the development and what's gone on over the past period of time, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, as to what's gone on inside your life and inside the things you're trying to do. And I'm trying to document the whole journey on here, show that I'm really passionate, really driven towards getting towards the goals. And I hope that comes through in my videos, and maybe you want to go out there and start your own thing, and that was the whole point of this video. And if that's the case, then I encourage you to do it right now. Make your first cold call, do the thing that gets your heart beating a little bit faster. Just because you're nervous to do it or anxious to do it, you have to overcome the fears, you have to do the things, and you will become a much better person for it. Trust me when I say that it is something that you will know over time. But for now, it's time to do the main work. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to take it one step at a time.